What do elite athletes understand about the body that regular people overlook?
That's sort of a loaded question, to be honest with you, because it depends. You know, you have some of these guys right now at the Blackhawks, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. They're kids. They still think they're invincible. Yes, they're aware of their body and they're definitely training and doing recovery things. But if you see what they do compared to the guys who are 30, 31, 32, 33, 30, those guys are, doing way more recovery, way more maintenance, way more things along those lines. So it's interesting to see the development process from a younger athlete to an older athlete.
Recovery is part of the equation of performance.
100%.
For athletes. Like, that's how they see it. Mm-hmm. Whereas everyday people see recovery as a separate thing and not necessarily something that is part of how they show up at work or how they actually perform in activities of daily life. It's sort of a different lens.
I think the word is lifestyle. It's not a beginning to an end. It's all about incorporating this lifestyle. So the biggest example is diet. I'm gonna do the paleo diet. I'm gonna do the Atkins diet. I'm gonna do the intermittent fasting diet. Whatever methodology you're using works. You lose a little weight, you do this, and then you kind of get a little lazy and you start cheating. And then what happens? You start putting a weight, another pound on, another pound on, another pound on, and you kind of start creeping back up to your normal, because it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's not a beginning to an end. It's all about incorporating this lifestyle, eating properly, exercising properly, sleeping properly, stretching properly, moving properly. All these things, 10,000 steps. That's part of a lifestyle.
People see recovery as this separate piece, but it's actually not. It's very much just how you exist day to day in this modern world. What is really driving a lot of the hindrance to recovery, aside from motivation, aside from mindset?
Time. I think, in our world, we're so, and guilty as charged, we are so crunched for time. We're working from, sunrise to sunset. And then we're even working into nighttime. It's just a nonstop. So we're trying to cram as many things into our 24 hours as we can. So now, again, we're not sleeping as well as we should because we're on our computer screens, and that's impacting our brains, and we're not fully resting at night. So now we're waking up dragging a little bit. So now we're tired. So now we use, coffee or Red Bull to kind of get us going. So now our mind's going and we're still trying to cram things, and then we have to be a parent or a partner. We're trying to fit this all in. And again, we're put ourselves last.
That is such a good response, because I think a lot of us default to this idea of lack of motivation. But then there's the idea that we're so busy and we're always so on. And so we need ways to integrate it into our lifestyle even more so.
I don't know what that answer is.
There's the Movemate.
There's the Movemate, right? That is definitely one way, especially for these desk jockeys who are sitting all day to get up and move. And even this rhythmic movement, as we've been talking, it feels good and just breaks up the monotony of sitting all day.
And more importantly, you don't need more time.
No.
That's the thing. You're already at your desk.
Right.
You're already in the living room watching TV. You can do those things. You don't have to step away, but you can step on this and you can continue doing those things. And so time is a big constraint that we realized in the development of this. It's how do we adapt to the current realities?